You too. Just finished running up the stairs. Catching my breath on that. For you fit folks out there, it would have been nothing for you. Or nothing to you. Can I go down this way? Yep, sure can. Now I think I'd make a right turn. Take me to the street. Don't get me back going. 360. Alright, I promised myself, I promised myself that I am going to walk that entire trail like, whoa, stop sign. Like every single night. So that's what I'm going to do. The job was awesome. The people there are really nice. The atmosphere is so calm. I have to tell you, this was the most awkward, less place that I've ever worked on a first day. And it was just a great atmosphere. I mean, it was so relaxed. I didn't feel uptight. I didn't feel nervous. I mean, I felt nervous when I first walked in, but it was relaxed. It was just a nice atmosphere. I don't know how working for the stores are. It could be different. I don't know. But usually when you go to a Whole Foods place, the people are nice. But, you go to a lot of places where people are nice. It doesn't necessarily mean that the place is good to work for. But this place here, and the video that you saw of the vultures, I found out they were vultures. I'd never seen one as close before. Very interesting looking animals. But that was as much of the inside that I'm probably going to show you. They had a Microsoft Surface there. The old Surface, okay? The Pixel Sense that it's called now. They had the latest iteration of the Microsoft Surface that was released last year. It was gorgeous. It had a little bit of lag to it, and I don't know if that was because of the hardware. So I know it has to run Windows 7 Pro, and if you don't have all the latest, the most RAM and the highest speed processor, Surface, the old iteration of Surface won't run correctly. So it did have a little bit of lag to it. I don't know what the specs are. It was pretty neat. It did dance around a lot. When I touched it, it felt like I was touching water. Not literally, but it looked like I was touching water because I tapped on it and it did this ripple thing. It's just like the Android screensaver with the ripples. It was really nice. Very responsive. But it did have some lag to it every once in a while. Me and my manager, we played ping pong on it. It was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. She won. But it was a fun, Surface is nice. And I guess what it's called Pixel Sense now will be a great device for, I can imagine, on a big screen, on a wall, in a conference room, using gestures, by way of the Connect. And just be able to throw your PowerPoint presentations around and just work your pies and just really have a really interesting, interactive, total immersive presentation that's a lot more fun than what petrol stations are now. So I just, it was exciting, and I can see the future of how Microsoft is going to, what they're going to do with Texas phones. I can see it. And if Samsung makes it where the computer is built into the TV, like Google TV is, if the computer is built into the TV, there's no need for a box. If everything is built in, the hardware will be optimized for the display, which will most likely be a 1080p display. Beautiful setup, and I can't wait to see more of that in a comfortable environment. Rush hour traffic. I got to deal with this every single day now. I thought I avoided rush hour traffic all my life. Except for a few times, but I mean like every single day of a commute, I thought I've avoided rush hour traffic, having to deal with it daily. Yeah, this is going to be something I have to deal with on a daily. I prefer working nights because it is such a nice, it's calmer, and it's so much nicer to work at night at any place I've ever worked at. It's cooler at night, especially if you work outdoors. It's cooler, and except for during winter. Rush hour traffic, gotta love it. I hope I have enough gas to get me through this week. Well, I think I'll be good. Just got a little extra money. Yeah, it was a fun day at work today. It was fun. It was exciting. I mean, it's not, the whole woohoo and all that, but I mean, it was good, and I felt comfortable. I didn't feel stressed. It wasn't a whole lot to learn. Yes, I mean, well, there's a lot to learn, but it's not something that I cannot handle. Definitely. It was definitely easy to handle, and I think I'll enjoy this job. I really do feel that it's going to be a good thing. Let me tell you, if they have public transit out in this area, I will definitely do it. There, in this area here, there are no buses whatsoever. The only way I can get to work is by way of driving. And it's really too far for me on a bike starting out. Like, I don't know how many miles this is. I guess I could, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. Starting from here, I guess I traveled a mile already. So adding 1 mile to my mile counter here. But bike ride will take longer. I'm definitely not fit enough to ride this many miles from home, having to leave early in the morning than I have to in order to ride my bike. And when I say there's no public transit out in this area, there's none. And even if I caught the bus or train closest to here, it will still be over 10 miles away. I know, maybe not 10 miles, but it'll be very far. Definitely not longer than I want it to be. So it kind of sucks because this will be a great area to have a rail line because there are a lot of businesses and homes here that could benefit from having a rail line here. They really need to build more rail in major cities. It's expensive, but really and truly, this is ridiculous. If I can catch a train home right now, I would do it in a heartbeat. Or some type of express bus, you know, where I don't have to worry about traffic. I can just get on the bus and relax and let the driver worry about the traffic. I mean, really and truly, I don't want to have to worry about traffic. I love to drive, but I like to drive when I'm able to, you know, go free. Not this. This is stupid. And LA has a pretty decent rail system. New York has a fabulous rail system. And if I was living in New York, I would definitely take the train to work every single day. I wouldn't even hesitate. Leave that car at home. In fact, if I was living in New York with a 24-hour subway system, I would never, ever buy a car. There'll be no need. I'll still want to have a driver's license because, you know, when you travel, you want to rent a car because some cities don't have good transit systems like New York. So I'll still maintain the driver's license, but I would never, ever, ever buy a car in New York. I'm probably going to run out of time on this video. The camera only shoots up to 30 minutes at a time. And if I'm in the middle of driving, I'm not going to go to start the video again. So it's just, at some point the camera's going to cut off. Oh, no. Man, I am tired. Because I stay up so late at night, you know, forever, because my last job I got up at 12 midnight, so I'm just used to being up late. Go to bed at 5, get up, you know, maybe at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and go to work again. I couldn't fall asleep at all last night. But I think after a couple of days of having to, you know, get up at 7, leave by 8 o'clock, get to work by 8:45ish, you know. After a couple of days of that, I think I will be going to bed at least by 12. It is best, you know, if you want to get a full 8 hours, but I don't think I can go to bed earlier than 12. So I think 12 midnight would be great because that's 12 to 7. 7 hours sleep. I can get 8 hours sleep on the weekends. Yeah, that'll work. You know, I'm a night owl. I love being up at night. I'm a vampire, I guess. Well, I'm not burning up in the sun right now, but I love being out at night. It's just so spooky and ridiculously weird. I just love nights. Wow, look at this. You gotta see that view. Isn't that a pretty view? That is gorgeous. Look at that. I'm not talking about the cars on the road, because that's not a good view. That bridge, the trees, just that whole thing right there is just gorgeous. Man, if I had a high definition camera, it would be even better to look at. With some good color depth, man. And I think that Coolpix camera, I do believe it has really good picture depth or color, just good color. Because you can have a high definition camera and it will still look dull. I want a camera that has good colors, you know, and only professional cameras have that. However, I think the Coolpix will be pretty damn close to a really good picture quality. And it's portable. It'll fit in my pocket. A video camera I can't fit in my pocket, you know. So I definitely want something portable. I can throw it in my pocket when I need it, take it out of my pocket, and start recording video and snap pictures, you know. I want that Coolpix. But I decided I'm getting the laptop first. The laptop is first, and then 2 weeks later after that, I can get the camera. So that's what I'm going to do. But you know, I'm still going to ask the question to the YouTubes and on Twitter. What do you think I should do first? The camera or the laptop? I need a laptop of my own because my wife is on her laptop all the time, and I can't really ask her to borrow it. I mean, I do use it now, but I don't have all the time in the world. I can't really edit my videos on her computer because that takes a long time, and I'll take away from her time. You know, I use her computer now just to check email and get on there for an hour just to check emails, do a couple of things, and then I'm done. I mean, I can't use up all her time on laptop, so I'm going to have to get a laptop. Something really nice, something that's fast enough to render video, and it'll definitely be a lot quicker than what I had before. 17-inch screen would be nice. But if I'm buying her a laptop, because she has the computer that I want, really. If I buy her a laptop, she wants a smaller laptop, 15-inch probably, 14 and a half, I don't know. She'll pick the one she wants. She always goes for looks over performance. So I'll get her what she wants, and I'll take her laptop, which is good enough for me because it has all the power I want. I'll probably upgrade it from 4 gigs to 8 gigs of RAM eventually. So it has even more, you know, RAM to work with. If I can upgrade the processor, I'll do that too. If the laptop will allow me. And just go from there, you know? I think that'd be really good. Really good. Oh, that's gorgeous. I wish you guys could see it. And look at that little cutout, like we're in a trench. That is an amazing cutout there. It just looks amazing too. Diving from bridge. They got to have a sign on this bridge that says "No diving from bridge." Duh! Who would do that? Oh, good Lord, it's too high. Kill yourself. Only a professional diver can dive from that height into that water. Only a professional. Anybody else, you'll kill yourself. You hit that water so hard, it'll knock your brains out. Okay, more traffic coming up. This part right here is always free flowing. It never stops here. But as soon as you get to the bottom of this little hill here, start going back up, that's where traffic stops during busy times, during rush hour. And here we go, another stop and go. I swear we need more public transit in this world, in this country. We're so far behind on public transit. I mean, I've been to cities like Frankfurt, Germany, and they have everything. They got subways running under the streets. They got trolleys running above the streets. They have light rails. I mean, a full-fledged, a light rail system running above the streets. And they have the regional rail, which travels about, 100 miles per hour. And then they have the ice train, which does 300 kilometers per hour, which I'm not sure what the miles per hour is on that, but it's pretty darn fast, like 150, 180 miles per hour, something like that. That's fast. We need more of that here. And I understand that Germany can fit inside of Texas without even trying. That's how small Germany is as compared to Texas. So we got a lot more land to cover than Germany. I understand that. That's a lot of land to cover. If you really think about it. Texas is a big state, but damn, there are some of the states that are a lot bigger, or that are huge too. Not as big as Texas, except for Alaska. Alaska is the only state that's bigger than Texas. Everything else is, California is pretty big. In fact, it's pretty large, actually. California, what's another state that's just as big? Illinois is not that big. New York is definitely not that big. New York is actually a small state as compared to California. Definitely a lot smaller. I think about it, California is probably the second largest state. I have to look that up, but I don't know. Or, well, the third largest state if you count Alaska, which is a different country in itself. No, I'm playing. Oh, good Lord. Oh, where does it end? Where does it end? Oh, that's another thing I want to buy too. Right now I'm using VideoPad by ntdwfrh software, and it works great. It does a lot of things that I could never do with Windows Movie Maker. It's great software. It does what it does, and it's powerful in itself. It is. However, since I have a professional video editing background, Sony has what I want. Sony Vegas Pro is $600. That's not something I'm going to buy right off the bat. So what I may do is get the, there's other Sony products that I can get, like $200, I think it is. It's a Sony Media Software Vegas family, or Vegas, it's called something else. If I get that, then I'll be able to do a lot more of my videos, like chroma keys and special effects, or a little bit of special effects, 5x1 surround sound, which won't be heard on YouTube, but if people download the Windows Media video file, they will get that 5x1 surround sound. So I think that would be nice because I love surround sound. But in order for me to get that surround sound out in the field, I would need to use both the contour camera and the Nikon. Then I can mix the sound together to make a very good surround sound track, which I think will be a lot more enjoyable if you have a surround sound system connected to your computer. What I don't have is, I don't think Sony rendering, it only renders 5x1 with AC3, which is the Dolby Digital 5x1 surround sound output, and it only outputs Windows Media video files in 5x1, but I don't think it does MP4s that way. I wish it did, because MP4 is a much wider acceptable video format than WMVs, Windows Media videos. So if I was able to render an MP4 high definition video file and output it in 5x1, you can import that onto, I guess, an Apple TV and stream it and watch the video on your TV in 5x1 surround sound. Now, for those of you who are not really interested in this part, oh well, because that's my interest. I love audio, and I wish I could do a lot more with audio as far as mixing is concerned. I do try to add some bass when I can with the music. The camera doesn't pick up any bass at all, but I think the only time I can get some really good bass is if I attached external speakers or external microphones that can pick up that bass really well. And I'm going to do some research on some microphones that can pick up good, decent bass, you know, in the area. Like if someone slams the door, you know, I want to get that boom, you know, the sound that you can feel. If you bang on a wall with a lot of good vibration, like boom, boom, or if I capture some music in the background that has a lot of bass, I want to capture that sound. I want to get that perfect audio sound. And the only way I can get that is if I had a good microphone, because the cameras themselves won't get it. You know, cameras themselves doesn't have that type of audio quality in the microphone. So I definitely need an external mic to get that really deep, hardcore bass that I like to hear in my recordings. You know, I want that perfect digital, deep bass sound. You know, if there's an earthquake, I want to get the rumble. I want the rumble to be felt in that person's living room. Okay? That's how much of a mic that I want. That's the kind of mic that I want. In fact, you know what? If you're into audio, and let's say you're really heavy into audio, and you know some good microphones that are portable, okay? Keep in mind, I want a GoPro camera because of the portability, and I want a Nikon camera because of portability. And the GoPro has a stereo input, a 3.5 millimeter input, stereo. So I need to get two, but I still want to keep it as portable as possible. So if I get some type of stand, maybe like a mic stand of some sort, and cross them, so I can get that perfect stereo sound, put the GoPro on top of that, or maybe like a handy cam for the GoPro, put the mics above that, I can still get that perfect digital video and audio. In fact, you know what? That is a better idea than getting the Nikon. Yes, that is a perfect idea. If I can get a handy cam of some sort that can hold two stereo microphones mounted in front or on top of the cameras facing forward. GoPro has a built-in wide-angle lens. Plug that in. Keep in mind when